Hello everyone, this is Blankara, and welcome to my universe. Today, I'm going to continue rigging Shalom from Path to Nowhere. I'm a little bit sick today, so bear with me, but I had some medicine before stream started, and I'm feeling a bit better than I was before. But still, I might be a little bit more out of it than usual today. So yesterday, I just about finished everything I wanted with the lower left turn. I was gonna take a look at the left, and I wanted my present self, which was, of course, my future self in the past, to take a look at the right side. And there are some things that I actually want to look into on the right side. As usual, I am much pickier than my past self. In this case, it's some stuff with the very, very top of her head there. But first, the thing that jumped out at me most was this thing right here in her hair. And there's just like, I'm not even sure how to describe it. It just looks like a hole to me. Not quite in the same way as like the tunnels over here, but just where her hair comes apart, I suppose. Wasn't quite satisfied with how all of that was shaking out, so I figured that I'd go give it another look here. And I'm aware that much of it is very, very wrinkly still. I will be fixing that once I'm happy with the locations of everything. Once I like where everything is. But in a simpler way. Once I'm happy with where everything is, I will go back and actually start making it look nice. But right now, that little spot that I was working on right there, still feeling just a little bit off, so I am going to give it the attention it needs. Such an important spot, right by her face, deserves a little bit of extra attention here and there. So let's see what I can do with it. My throat is a little bit sore today. Like I said, I'm feeling a little bit sick, so I might be a little bit quieter than usual, but I will do my best to talk about what I am doing at the moment. Oh right, I just remembered this thing. I forgot that because I moved the bangs over, that this is now just floating there. Okay, I'm gonna go fix that right now. Just because I'll see it and it'll make me laugh. It's probably not a good way to do that, but I'll start with that. Okay, it doesn't actually look nearly as bad as I feared it would. That's still... Well, it does look better with the back hair on. Not really. Okay. I was looking at something, but now I guess I'm looking at this. My brain has decided it wants to look at this now. So let's see here. Just try to get it to kind of connect where I think it should. Hopefully it doesn't look too much like it's getting elongated. It actually really doesn't. That's cool. I was afraid it would. But no, it doesn't really look like it's getting stretched out. Phew. I wasn't quite sure what I was gonna do if that was the case. Fortunately, looks like I don't have anything to worry about. Just got a little bit of crunchiness that I'll have to clean up when I clean everything else up, but so far I think that is actually pretty okay. Alright, back to the area at the top that I was looking at before I got sidetracked. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm getting somewhere here. At some point, I swear I will go back and actually look at those spots on the right side that I wanted to take a look at, but it's okay. My brain has decided it wants to do this right now, and I guess that's fine. The side bangs are very important, so it's probably a good idea to do them when my brain is about as fresh as it can be when I'm sick. I think I've talked about this briefly when I was doing some actual drawing as opposed to just rigging, but one thing that I do often at the start of a new drawing session, where my brain is about as fresh as it can be, is I try to tackle one thing that I find difficult. My process generally has me looking at whatever, or working on whatever is bothering me the most at the moment. But sometimes I will specifically hold off on working on something, just so that I can work on it the next day when my mind feels a little bit fresher. I think on stream this came up when I was drawing Inez from Arknights, and I was working on that big swirly sword that she has on her hip. Because, ooh boy, did I have trouble drawing that. And so, for a few drawing sessions during that, at the very beginning of them, I would always just go in, work on the swirly sword for a bit, before moving on to something else. And it's a similar idea to what I'm doing here. It's like here it's not necessarily difficult, it's just important. Stuff near the focal point. Now, I heard a piece of art advice relatively recently that I didn't quite understand at first, but I think I get a greater appreciation for when I really sit and think about it. and it was to always do something out of order. Like, if when you draw, you do the sketch, then line art, then base color, then shadows, then highlights or something. Then to just do something out of order. Like maybe you put down some basic flat colors before you do the line art or something. And, like I said, I didn't quite understand the advice at first. But I think I'm starting to get it, of just a way to avoid getting too complacent. To force yourself to try something new with your process frequently. Because I think good ways, the ways that you find process that works for you, involves a lot of trial and error. And if you're just doing the same thing every time, then you're not doing the various trials. And I think for beginner artists, the process that they use is often the process that they see other people do. Which is actually completely reasonable. Perfectly reasonable. When you're a beginner, like, you don't know what you're doing. You gotta start somewhere and just start trying to figure some stuff out. So any process is a good process at that point. But after a while, you'll cross over into like intermediate territory and you'll start understanding what you're doing. To an extent. And at that point, it's probably a good idea to start mixing things up a bit. And to start finding the process that actually works for you, as opposed to simply copying what other people did, or, you know, just even sticking with what has worked so far. There might be something better out there. Oh yeah, there might be something even better. But you gotta find it. And you'll never find it if you just keep doing the same thing over and over again, even if it's technically working. Even as I am now, I'm still doing a lot to experiment with different processes and try to find the things that work best for me. I doubt that I will ever consider my process complete. I'll always be trying new things. There's just a couple of things that I do know, and that's at the very beginning, I need to get the picture in a state where I enjoy looking at it. And I need to make sure to get my ideas down very quickly. I have been greatly enjoying focusing on composition first. And then I worry about specifics like proportion and various things like that after. That's been working very well. Okay, I think the side bang is in a much better spot now. So I'll go look at the top of the head again. And I guess when it comes to that advice, the important rule is simply always be thinking. Don't go on autopilot while you're drawing. Always be thinking. I admit, sometimes I can be a little bit bad about this. Especially when I'm doing just rendering at the end. And my brain just, like, shuts off completely. It's because I find rendering to be extremely brain dead. Because at least for me in my current process, I don't normally start rendering until I basically have everything down. Everything's where I want it to be. I just have to clean up all the rough edges and make things pretty. So at that point, there's not really a whole lot of decision-making going on. It's just cleaning up edges and making everything nice and smooth. It can be kind of boring. Now I'm remembering another past stream of when I was drawing Manticore from Arknights. And I had to go through and render the fur on the collar of her coat. And I was just there, going slightly insane for a little while. Because it can take a little while to get everything to look nice. But I was there, just rendering fur for quite a long time. And I just remember being able to blab like I couldn't believe. I didn't even know I had it in me. It's because, like, the decisions were already made. I had it all shaded and had where the shadows were. I just had to make them look pretty. So that tends to be when I falter in the always be thinking. Because I admit, if I'm thinking very actively during a lot of that. Oh man. It would, be a little bit dull. Admittedly, this is where I've been liking my 2-hour speed paints. Because even during the rendering process, which tends to be pretty quick because they're 2-hour speed paints. Or 1 to 2 hour speed paints, I suppose. I tend to be very active the whole time. I don't even dare turn on anything to listen to in the background. Maybe some music. Music with probably no lyrics. Because anything else will just take my attention away. And I won't finish in time. So I gotta be focused. And I actually do feel like I get a lot out of doing that. And just going for some hyper-intense focus. It's pretty cool. So sometimes I gotta remind myself too, even if it seems hard, I'll always be thinking. The mind is truly a terrible thing to waste. Love your mind, embrace it. Train it. It's like a muscle too. That if you don't use certain aspects of it, it will atrophy and you'll be worse. Because man, do I feel that physically. I've got just super flabby arms, and I remember that I did a whole bunch of cleaning in this one area that really needed it. And the next day, my legs just hurt, man. So much. I was apparently using muscles I didn't even know I had. And they had atrophied enough that using them that much again just made them very sore. They were not used to this. And your brain is the same way. So you gotta always be thinking. Don't let your brain atrophy, like I did my body. It's okay, I'm working on the body part. But you know, if I had never let it happen in the first place, I wouldn't have to be working on it. So there you go. Alright, I actually do feel like the top is starting to look a little bit better here. Just needed to show a little bit more of it. And let the back of her head show off a little bit here. I say as I shrink it a little bit, but it's okay. I think it was poofing out a little bit too hard there. Yeah, that's looking a little bit better. All the talking is getting to me somewhat. But I think I'll be okay. I think I'm good to go for a little bit longer. Might end a little bit early just to give my throat a little bit of a rest. But I am glad that I decided to come stream today. I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to. Unfortunately, the medicine I took helped. It helped quite a lot. Let me get this far. So I definitely appreciate that. I've heard jokes from people with kids that if you have kids in the house, pretty much everything from November to like March is you're gonna be sick. And I think that's gonna be doubly true once my oldest one starts school. And she's gonna be around a lot more kids. Having kids can be pretty difficult, but I do think it's worth it in the end. They're so cute. And they give you so much context to your own life. Just how your parents raised you and all these things. And one thing that I never really thought about was the way that that a child talks to their stuffed animals or their siblings or just the other people around them pretty much mirrors how you talk to them. Or how the parent talks to them. And it's giving me some context and figuring out, how I talk to them, how they presumably talk to themselves, and probably how I talk to myself. As a fairly funny example, I learned because of them that I tend to think like 5 steps into the future. This has happened on stream many times where I'm like, okay, I do this part, and then I can do this part, and then I can do this part, and then it'll be time for physics. And I'm thinking like 5 steps ahead. I personally blame playing chess, because you do have to be thinking, 5 to 10 steps ahead if you want to keep up with your opponent at a high level. But I realized that I was doing that a lot when I was talking to them. Because they'd lose me, like, partway through. A 2-year-old's not good at seeing 5 steps into the future. And I was never aware just how much I did that until I started talking to them more. So that was pretty funny. I am trying to do that a little bit less, but it's hard. My brain has been very thoroughly wired to want to do that. And it's funny, even if you don't have explicit conversations with yourself, the inner voice is still there. And I've been trying to listen to it. 'Cause I'm sure it can tell me many things about what I want to be doing. And I think I could stand to listen to it a little bit more sometimes. And just talking to my kids and seeing how they talk to each other and their toys when they play pretend is helping me kind of figure out what that inner voice sounds like, so that maybe I can hear it a little bit better. So right now, I'm just trying something. Try something and see what happens. Because I noticed that there was a part that I did on accident kind of down here, where I made it thinner in a way that made it look like it was turning. And currently, what I tried is not working. Oh no, my TV is possessed. One moment. Okay. I am back. I have our TV hooked up to a computer, so I'm pretty sure Windows just decided now was a good time to update. And thus it rebooted itself, and here we are. Possessed TV, where it just turns on. Man, I like it in theory. Like, I like what I did down here. But I'm having a hard time getting the same thing to be working further up. That's okay. Today is a good day to just kind of derp around and experiment. Because my head hurts. And I do not think I could do a bunch of hardcore detail stuff anyway. The joy of being sick. Okay, yeah, I think that's looking alright. I think once I get this hair underneath here a little bit better, then that'll really work. So I think part of what I'm seeing that's bothering me is related to the hair behind the bang. So that's why we're making her bald for a second. I'm still not worrying too much about getting things clean, but I needed to clean it up a little bit just to see if that was the problem or if I need to be concerned. And I do need to be concerned. Okay. So yeah, I think I still need to hide this pink strand here, where it's a little bit lighter. So I'm pretty sure that was what was making it not work. Alright, I think the rest will probably come once I'm able to clean all this up. That said, I think I still want to fix it up just a little bit here. Or all this just kind of needs to come over here. Yeah, looking a lot better. Now I can go back to taking a look at the top here. Okay, yeah. This is definitely working. I like this quite a bit. It's like, man, I say that, and then the first thing that comes to my mind is the joke about the, allot. Of one guy's funny rant about people making a lot one word instead of two. So I get it's like a big giant furry creature called an allot. Art is incredible. Just being able to get those kinds of reactions out of people. Alright, I think I'm almost there. Almost got this entire thing looking really, really good. I'm so happy. I think it looks great. I mean, it looks good enough that honestly I want to go back and revisit my other head angles when I'm all done and make them look a little bit better. And I mean, I think I might. Once I have the lower left and lower right, and then probably these three too, the left, right, and down, I'll go back and revisit my top ones. Okay, so I have learned many things once again, and I kind of want to apply some of that knowledge. This is why I struggled with actually finishing anything when I was a wee baby artist. Because I'd learn something mid-picture and then I'd want to go back and fix up some stuff, and I just ended up being very slow. So it's like, maybe I should leave it and call it good, but we'll see how I feel and how long it takes for me to get these turns just right here. But I don't know, it's like looking at things now, when I go up here, I see a few things that I think I could stand to fix. But I have to tell myself one thing at a time. I can worry about fixing up other spots after I finish the spots that I'm currently working on. Gotta stop thinking 5 steps in the future. It keeps happening. I can't stop it. On the bright side, my insistence that I keep thinking 5 steps into the future means that I often know what I'm going to be drawing for like the next year. Although I suppose that's a pro and a con. Because it leaves me with lots of stuff that I want to do and not enough time to do it. Life is hard. But on the bright side, I think, once again, my present self is becoming increasingly happy with what I have here. And I might be ready to move on to the next step tomorrow. Probably won't do it today. I think I'd like to have my future self take a look at things before I do anything drastic. My future self tends to be much pickier than my present self, so let her take a look at things and make sure that everything is as good as I think that they are. Future selves are always great at picking up problems, or at least mine is. I like to use that incredible ability to my advantage. Let her pick out all the problems and fix them up. I have faith that my future self will do a great job. My throat is really starting to die, so I think once I finish touching up the back of her head here, I will probably end for today. It's a little bit early, but I am sick, so I guess I can forgive myself for not going quite as long as usual today. I am happy that I was able to stream it all. Gonna need to pick up some more medicine for my throat. But at the very least, it's good to know that just basic cold and flu medicine can do enough for my throat that I can stream, at least for now. If I get sick or something worse, who knows, but for this level of sickness, we're good. Honestly, it is pretty relieving to know that. Alright, I think we're looking pretty good. Yeah, looks really nice. I really like it. I like it quite a lot. Let me do just one more little thing here. I want to pull this over here just a little bit. Once again, nothing too drastic here. But I want to make it look like the hair is going back. Yeah, I like that. Okay. So I think that's looking really good. We'll see what my future self thinks. But for today, I think I will end here. So thank you all for coming. If you'd like me to take a look at your own creative projects, whether that be art, writing, coding, game design, or any creative pursuit you can think of, feel free to message or at me on the social media platform of your choice, and I'll take a look, maybe leave some comments. I'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.